Let's give you a little show to remember. Oh, by the way, don't try this at home. You gotta be very careful when working with technical equipment. Another whack. This is pretty nicely put together. Pretty strong, so let's try that again. I know I said one more, but this is getting beat. Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to PR's Realm. What you're looking at now is a PlayStation 3 controller. Unfortunately, this controller is broken. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to open it up and see what's inside a PlayStation 3 controller and attempt to fix it. A lot of people like these videos. A lot of people want to see what's inside things. The first thing I'm going to have to do is open it up. As you see on the back side, there's some screws. I took a few out. I started with these two. So let me finish taking them out and I'll get back to you. Alright, before I go any further, I took out all the screws, 5 screws in total. That's these right here. Now, let's move on. Alright, so I popped the top off. This is the back side. This is the front side. And this is what's inside. As you see, there's a lot of wiring, very tiny wiring. There's a little battery pack here. What I need to get to this joystick. But unfortunately, that's covered by a wiring pad. I'm gonna try to take that piece out and then I'll get back to you with that. Alright, I got through the next layer. There was 2 tiny screws like this one. Put that on the side, and now I've actually got into the damaged joystick. See how this one pops right back, this one doesn't. At the moment it's a little difficult to see if there's anything I could do, so I'm gonna pause the video, take a look inside, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so what I did is I went inside. These are the knobs to the joysticks. They pop off. I took them out, one on each side. This side is the good side right here, as you can see. Pops forward, pops back. This is the bad side. And what I found is it's a very simple problem without a simple solution, unfortunately. Basically, these are like springs inside. The spring on this one, to make it simplistic, it's worn out. And that's why it doesn't pop back, pop forward, it just wiggles. And knowing that it can't be fixed, we're gonna go a bit further. Here we have an electrical unit, the motherboard. Attached to that are 2 conductors, electrical conductors. We got the battery pack, and that battery pack is actually plugged in right over here. A lot of this is soldered down or glued down with electrical glue. So I'm gonna have to pull that apart. What I'm gonna do now is try to unplug this battery, first without breaking it, and then we can move on to the fun, destructive stuff. Breaking it down piece by piece before I go any further. You see I unplugged this. That was the little outlet it went in, and unplugged very easily. Now we got a battery pack stuck in place. So I'm gonna attempt to just peel it off. And it came off. It was glued down pretty tightly, but as you saw, it came apart. So this is a bust. We can't do anything with it. So let's see if I can rip these off. Oh. Hey. Looking further and a little bit closer, you can see what it is. I'm having a little fun here, ripping. So that came off pretty easily. Alright, let's see what we got left here. We got the motherboard, we got the joysticks. We have this little plastic layer. And we're not going to need that anymore. So let's just rip that off. And we got the other buttons right there with it. These were the inner parts for R2 and L2, parts that connect to the mechanics underneath the buttons, underneath these R2, L2, and R1, L1 actually. This is the little mechanism. It's actually helps conduct the electricity throughout the unit. It may seem like just a piece of plastic, but there's actually a lot more to this. Now, for this part, I'm probably going to need 2 hands, so I'm going to have to stop for a moment. But as you see here, here's the little USB port. The joysticks are still in place, minus the knobs. So I'm going to take that apart and then get back. One more layer down, and believe it or not, it came off very simply. I expected it to be a struggle, but it just popped right out. So now this is the main unit right here. This is the motherboard. Central unit. It's like a housing complex with major networks all around. You could consider this the world of that joystick. And in this world, there are lots of things going on. Quite amazing too. If you could look, I'm going to try to get as close as possible. There are a lot of tiny little pieces that are just connected together. When you think about how this is done, it may seem simplistic, but it's very complex and very tedious. Of course, they have machinery and experts doing this, but to think, imagine the first joystick ever made, or first electrical device, first computer. It didn't get easier with time because they want to outdo themselves. They want to make it smaller, they want to make it stronger, they want to make it faster, better. So let's see if I could pop out the joysticks and see what we got under there. Okay, so before I break it down any further, I just wanted to make note that each of these pieces seem to have a very simple way of being put together. As you may be able to see here, right here, there's little things pointed up. They actually came right up. They're supposed to be flat like this. And that, I see, has loosened up the joysticks. So let me open up both sides, sort of like a little clamp they are, top and bottom, and then try to pop those out. Okay, upon breaking it down, I'm seeming to have a little bit of trouble. I unhinged the clips. There was even a few little pieces that seemed to be stuck, but it seems they also used some electrical glue and some soldering. For those of you that don't know, and if I were to fix this or create this myself, home tool, which of course they got the factory made ones, is a soldering iron. This is what you use to mend metal. It's a special type of metal you use. It usually comes in a little package like so. This is the metal unpackaged. You would heat this up, gets plugged in, and you put it in. Another piece that they use, this is a wire stripper, so that you could take off the outer layer without breaking the wire. Well, with these are very tiny, so it'll be a little difficult. And then this one right here is a wire cutter. There's a few tools and a few ideas. What I'm going to use to try to get out the last few pieces, get a little destructive here, I'm going to take my good old pliers and try to pull it out, since it didn't come out the simple way. Going layer and layer and step by step, I tried using the good old pliers, but as you see, it was so strong and so heavily welded down that it actually ripped out the whole motherboard along with the joystick. So I'm gonna have to try another step. In this case, let's smash it. Alright, let's see if I could do this with one hand. Let's try that again. Oops, I fucked up my tape. Oops, sorry. Oh no, it's okay. Alright, we're having a little trouble there. Let's try again. Okay. Whoa! That last one knocked the side off, but still not getting down to the right layer. It's a little difficult doing it with one hand, so I may have to stop, but let's give you a little show to remember and give it one last whack. And then, if this doesn't work, I'll come right back. Another whack. This is pretty nicely put together. Pretty strong, so let's try that again. I know I said one more, but this is getting beat up. Fun. Look at that. Oh, by the way, don't try this at home. You gotta be very careful when working with technical equipment like so. And especially technical equipment that hurts. I would not recommend doing this. And I would recommend safety glasses. I'm gonna pry the rest open. Alright, that definitely worked. As you see here, we got the joystick. You can see the spring that I was talking about inside now. Let me pop this out because now it's just falling apart. Let me see if I can show you that spring in there. See that little spring right there? On the other joystick, it's worn out. So you can even see the clicker still. You get the idea, you get the gist. I'll have fun destroying the other side. But this right here is what's inside a PlayStation 3 remote control. And this, all this right here, is what once was a PlayStation 3 remote control. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for more. If you like videos like these, leave me a message in the comments and I'll do more. Thanks for watching PR's Realm. www.youtube.com/PRSREALM.